Hi there, Rudy Blair,
Hey,
Rudy
Rudy.
Blair Entertainment Media. Great to see you. I think the last time I saw you was on a red carpet and your daughter was with you.
Oh, that was probably at Massey Hall.
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, because of the documentary, because of the new album, what does your daughter think about this resurgence, if I can use those terms, about your career? Because I have to assume that she didn't really get a chance to see what the highlight was back in the day. But
She wasn't alive.
Hey, there you go.
Neither
but
of them
now, it's almost like reliving it all over again.
Well, I think he was discovering it anew because my kids came on tour with me, but they never watched. They were always going to bed or watching a movie in the tour bus. They actually couldn't have cared less about what I did. And I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I took my daughter to Taylor Swift, and we experienced that, insanity together. And when they watched the documentary with me, and my youngest one in particular, because she was a little more removed from it, she kind of looked at me with fresh eyes and was like, oh, you were actually kind of cool back then. And people kind of cheered for you the way I'm cheering for Taylor Swift. And it just, for a brief moment, it elevated me, and it made me cool for about 5 minutes. But that's about it.
Talked about this, man. We both said this has to be the one. I actually cheered in here. I was talking to somebody else. I looked over and said, hey, Maestro One, congratulations on this.
Thank
How does
you.
it feel, especially because of this particular Black History project?
Man, listen, Rudy, you got to understand, besides the Hall of Fame award, I have not won a Juno since 1991, man. So you have to understand, this means a lot to me. I've been nominated like 17 times, I guess, so I'm just... I feel good if I'm nominated, but I kind of condition myself it's not going to happen. So when it did, I'm like, you got to be kidding, man. So I had to let my backbone slide on stage, do my thing, and I wasn't ready for a speech, but it's a blessing to be honored, man. It's an honor to be honored. And this project is about a father and a son who traveled through time, and it means a lot to me because what inspired me is my son and me, and his mom obviously too, but traveling from Toronto to St. John, New Brunswick during COVID. You see what I'm saying? And that inspired me to write a story about kids and how cool would it be for a father and son to have a story where they're traveling and then they end up in ancient Egypt. How about if they rhyme? You know what I mean? So it was one thing led to the next, led to the other, where it came up with a story. And I tell people, if you have ideas, don't give up on your ideas, man. Because there's a reason why you put it on the back burner and it comes back into fruition. Definitely.
Congratulations on this win. I feel like this album has a lot of Caribbean African roots. Am I correct on that with the sound of this? And also because, of course, where did the original dance come from? Africa.
I would say, yeah, definitely there's some tracks that are influenced by African dance music or African electronic music. Like in particular, I'm thinking about my track Arcadia and like the drum rhythms. And that's just part of obviously my upbringing. Like I'm Nigerian Canadian, and also I think just my exposure to music. Like I listen to music from all over the world, and so I'm very influenced by just the sounds that are coming out from either places that where I'm from or other places.
Hey.
Once again, congratulations. It's funny because I remember we were talking and you were like, you're hoping for one, but you ended up with 2 today. How did that feel, man? Especially because with this music, it was such a spiritual journey for you, and your life really changed, not just making this music, but your travels and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I was like walking here expecting none, to be honest. I remember that first one. I was like, oh yeah, like Tia or CB has got this for sure. So I was like mid-bite of food, and I was like, oh okay, gotta think of something to say. Yeah, I mean it's a wild experience to be recognized that way. Like I said, like it was crazy for me, the way I approach music, the way I approach storytelling. My background in journalism, I think that makes me function in a way that I like to stay informed. I like to tell stories that are relevant. And so, it felt really, really kind of crazy to put out this record, which is based on just little moments in my life over the past 2.5 years. And, we have crazy things happening in the world, and suddenly I put out this record that doesn't touch on that. So, and to be in total fairness, like, I was really terrible at marketing this record. Like, my label was really good about it, but I just felt like a used car salesman being like, hey, stream my music, check it out. Like, so this is a true surprise and a true blessing, and like, once again to see my colleagues and peers see what I'm doing worthy of these prestigious awards is shocking, and I'm grateful.
Hello, dear. Rudy
Hello,
Blair.
friends.
We talked about this album, like almost, or this song, I should say, like literally almost a year ago. And you talked, as you just told my colleague, about how, your feelings behind the song. But what I'd like to look at is from the 2012 win to today, how have you changed, not just as a person and an artist, but also just spiritually as well?
Mm-hmm. I am so sure of who I'm supposed to be in this life. I don't question that. I don't allow anyone else to question it, doubt it, or project any fears onto the limitations that I've previously felt or even put on myself. I am so clear on who I'm supposed to be in this life. I am supposed to be a voice for women of color, for mothers, for creatives. I'm a voice of healing, inspiration, and I'm a great Canadian. And that is something that I'm so proud to be. And so, yeah, I'm so clear on the life that I want to live, and I'm so clear that I just want to continue to be myself for the rest of my life, and I don't have any doubts that I can do that. Yeah. Thank you, Rudy.
Hello,
Thank
folks.
you.
Rudy Blair Entertainment Media. We go way back. So congratulations, first off. Who decided to put this trio together, and what was it like the first time hearing the three of you together?
So I'm going to give the first thanks to Don Mills, who produced the song. He saw the vision from the beginning. The original song that he interpolated, Rallying, was such a special song to him, and he's like, I got something for you specifically. And then after making the song, I was talking with my manager, David, and we were like, yo, we should get Julie and Socrates on the song because it's just so special, and you don't know what opening that portal can do in the universe. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too metaphysical, but that's what it is.
Tell them you didn't know though.
Right. So after I had finished the song, I had learned from Vivian Barkley. She's like, as soon as she heard it, she said, oh, this is Rallying. This is Julie Black's record. So that was the ignition to this whole thing.
And Toby did not know.
It was beautiful. Yeah. So she put me on, and yeah, we just took it from there. Yeah.
And we had already been talking for like 2 years about trying to find a record. We're going to get one, and that record found him. And it's like they really tricked him. They let him finish it. And then they said, oh, by the way, that's Sox and Julie. The universe is a beautiful place. That one worked out really well.
Absolutely. And
Rudy Blair. Yeah, Rudy.
Great question.
One
Love
love.
you too.
Hi, gentlemen. Rudy Blair Entertainment Media.
Where the fuck are you, Rudy?
I'm right over here.
Oh, we're looking behind you. I'm looking at the very map.
The braids are gone. That's why you're not recognizing me. First, I got to say, man, it's been great talking to you guys over the years.
Oh, thank you. Pleasure.
I'm going to sort of try to meld two questions into one, because one, of course, with the humanitarian in giving back, and two, of course, being one of Canada's premier bands. How does that feel? Because I knew you guys when you were kids, and becoming that today has to be an honor, especially knowing so many bands have followed behind you, but also with the humanitarian and giving back. How important is that to remind other bands that no matter how much success you have, giving back is just as important?
I think a lot of bands taught us that. Well, I remember in high school, the bands that we liked, they were active, and whether it be the Beastie Boys doing things to Free Tibet, for example, like that stuff resonated with us, and I think we learned from them. And I think just if you're just providing an example, people pick up on that. I don't really think you have to go around, telling people go do this is the right thing to do. Just go do good, and people will follow usually. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Love you guys.
Oh, thanks, Rudy.
Thank you.